You're not going to believe how many people in the city of Atlanta and suburbs actually weren't from Georgia. We have people that come in from other states, other international countries, all over the place, and we get them by the thousands each month. There's great places to live. It just really depends on what your lifestyle is and what you're looking for. And we're going to try to show you exactly, starting from the north all the way around Atlanta, we're going to try to show you exactly all the locations and show you different things on it. And so you'll be able to decide, hey, yeah, that's where I want to live. No, that's not quite for me. That's perfect for me. Oh my gosh, I'm glad you mentioned that because that makes it perfect. We're going to try to go through each individual area and see if we can't find you the place that you wanted to live. So let's get ready and let's have some fun. Let's get into some things about Atlanta. Well, first of all, the weather. A lot of people move down here from the north for the nicer weather. We're definitely not as cold, but we're not as hot as places like Florida and things of that nature. In the winter, we are not very cold. We'll get down to below freezing sometimes in the night times, but then it'll get up to 40, 50, and sometimes even 60 in the winter times. Sure, there's definitely extremes on both ends. Sometimes in August we have a couple of days of 100-degree temperatures, and then sometimes in the winter we'll have below freezing or below zero temperatures. But those are 1 or 2 days in the year at most. So we don't have a lot of those extreme temperatures that you have. I've been through several summers here that I needed a light jacket and that was it. And sometimes here it's short sleeve weather all the time. You wear a short sleeve shirt and a jacket, and by the time you're through the middle of the day, it's 50, 60, 70 degrees in the wintertime, and you're good. Now in the summertime, it gets hot. It is not like Arizona and those kind of places. It's not a dry heat. It is hot and it is humid here. So you'll sweat a lot, but the good thing is we got lots of things to do around here to cool you off. We have lakes, we have rivers, we have water parks, everything that you would ever want. And matter of fact, most of the play areas around here actually have the water sprinklers too. So don't worry about the heat. You'll get used to it soon enough. Trees. I know that's kind of a strange thing to bring up, but I can't tell you how many people that we've helped move to Atlanta and find properties that tell me they can't believe how many trees are around. One of the things that I would say 80 to 90% of the people tell me is when they're going down the interstate, they can't believe all the trees that are going around. So we are ripe with trees. Fresh air is a thing here. Also, a lot of people don't realize, and you'll see this in a few minutes in the map, Atlanta is actually very hilly. It's not a flat location. We are literally 30 to 40 minutes from mountains. The Blue Ridge Mountains start right about 30 to 40 minutes as we get outside of Atlanta, and so that means that we're hilly in here. And we also have to remember too, we have what's called Stone Mountain right outside of Atlanta, and I'll show you where that is here soon too. So let's get to the map. All right, here we go. This is the map of North Georgia, centered with Atlanta in the center. And you'll see that 285 is here. This is 285, the little circle around Atlanta. That's an expressway that was made in the 60s. When they made this, they had no idea that Atlanta was going to grow to be the huge city it is today. And the reason they did it that way is you have feeders. This is basically the southeastern hub for logistics. And you have 20 coming in here. You've got 75, 575 feeding into it. You've got I-20 feeding into it, and even 400 and 85. So what they thought they would do is have everything feed into Atlanta where it goes around and can disperse into the other locations. Again, they had no idea Atlanta was going to get this huge. Another thing I want to point out to you up here is Lake Lanier. Lake Lanier is one of the largest lakes in this part of the country. It has a lot of famous things about the lake, some of them true, some of them not true. There's been movies about the lake and things like that. Some other things to point out. I want to start us in North Atlanta and north here, and then kind of take us down around both sides and then down into the south. So I want to concentrate, in this video, we're just going to kind of show you around so you can kind of get a good lay of the land, so to speak. So right now in the north, this is where I'm at right now because I'm in Google Maps. I actually live in this area right here, and it is a really nice place where we live. It's called Sugar Hill, and it is, this area in general is really a bustling location. It's growing all the time. It's one of the biggest malls, and the biggest mall in Georgia is over here. So let's take a little closer look there. So you see the bottom of the lake. This is Sugar Hill, Beaufort, and Swanee. Some of your better schools are in this area right here in the state. But look that up, and if you contact us, I can send you a list of school rankings and things of that nature. But if you come into it a little bit more, Sugar Hill is really a diamond in the rough. So Sugar Hill being in the center here, this area right here, this whole gray area, that's actually a mall. And all this through here has everything that you would need. If you're looking for it and it's not there, you can't buy it. As you go up into the area here, here's Beaufort, Swanee, Duluth. Now here's a great thing about these little cities. These cities have their own things that they do. Many of them are free. Many of them, if you can't find anything to do in the North Atlanta area, you're just not looking. So it's a really great area. This one is, this area here is a little cheaper than it is here, and definitely a lot cheaper in here. Just kind of taking you up a little bit more north, you've got the bottom part of the lake. There's a really neat dam that you drive past here with the little river that goes, Chattahoochee River, goes down. The cool thing is you'll see Flowery Branch right here. So Flowery Branch is home of the Atlanta Falcons training camp. So if that's something you want to be around, you can kind of focus your area up there. There's a ton of things in this location. So you've got you see this where it says Gary Purple Park. You know how Google does, it kind of will pick things for you. Not only there are, as you can see, all these parks here, but in this little area right here where my cursor's going around, there's about 8 to 10 parks there. Many you can take your dogs in. You can play around, get your kids out there, ride bikes. There's many of them with bike trails, many of them with hiking trails that are miles long. This is just a great location to be. As we come down a little bit, let's go back out. I'm going to give you a good reference. Again, you need a good reference to see where you're at in opposed to Atlanta. So I'm going to go around here a little bit. We're going to look at Norcross, Lilburn, Larsville, and this little area right here. So we'll start up here. I'm going to start at the very tip top here. Brazelton, Houston, that's a growing population there. It's still a little bit in the country, but things are growing really rapidly. Same thing with Auburn, Carl, and Winder. Decula is a really great place. Got one of the larger churches in the state over there, and same for Larsville. Larsville is a established location. A lot of history there. A lot of things that have happened. They've got great Christmas things that happen there. This is Gwinnett Place, there's a small mall that used to be a big mall till the big Georgia Mall came in. The Gwinnett Place is a location where they filmed many movies. If you weren't aware, Georgia is a major movie capital. There has been times where we're actually making more movies out here than Hollywood does. And then you've got, I'm going to show you here, Stone Mountain right here in Stone Mountain Park. So Stone Mountain is a huge granite mountain that you can actually climb up. It's got a park around it. It's got lakes and everything. It's got a lot of fun things to do. It's got golf courses, beaches, because it's got some lakes around there. You can kind of see some of the lakes right there. It's a really nice place to go. They've got a huge laser show that they show off the side of the mountain, and I definitely recommend that. And also, Stone Mountain has a lot of historical significance as well. When I was a kid, you could still go in there with a metal finder, and you could just kind of go around into the woods and dig around, and you would still find arrowheads, muskets from the Civil War, and all those kind of things. Tucker here, that is a place that has grown. They are in the middle of revitalizing some of it, and it's a really good smaller town. Got some great places to eat in there. It's grown up huge since I was a kid, for sure. And that leads you into 285 Norcross. And this place around here, Berkeley Lake, is a little bit higher of a price point area, along with Duluth. Norcross, if you get out of the city in Norcross, things get a little cheaper. But if you go back up here, Johns Creek, Alpharetta, all this is some of your higher priced homes. A lot of football players, baseball players, a lot of sports players live in these areas. Athletes. A lot of football players live in Buford, because I showed you where the Falcons camp was earlier. And that's really one of the more expensive places to live. As you go down into Sandy Springs and Dunwoody. East Cobb, out here where Marietta, this whole area right here is an older place, because this has been built out for years. There's not a lot of new properties out there, but it's really nice older properties. The kind that you hear referenced has strong bones. Most of this is another higher priced area out here, so you can really understand why you're paying the higher prices, because people really keep up their homes out here. And so you've got coming down, you've got Mableton, Austell, Lithia Springs, and you've also got our major theme park, Six Flags. I forgot to mention that up here near Marietta is the largest water park that we have in Georgia, part of the Six Flags family. And here's Six Flags over Georgia here, just outside of Atlanta. As you go out towards here, this is Alabama as you're coming out this way. Douglasville and these places, a lot of new construction out there, a lot of growing out there. Atlanta seems to be coming out this way. And then as you go down to the south, Fairburn and Tyrone. Tyrone is growing up really well. Fairburn's kind of an older city with Union City. You have your Ashley Park, your Fayetteville, and your Riverdale's Lovejoys. Now, as you go out, Peachtree City here is also a very high-end location. It, along with Sonoya, it has a lot of high-priced communities, communities that you can only get around if you have a golf cart. And yes, in those communities, you can get DUI while driving a golf cart. Want to kind of pay particular attention here. This is Hampton. This is where the Atlanta Motor Speedway is, one of the larger racetracks, the largest racetrack in Atlanta, but one of the larger ones in the southeast. You've got Talladega over here, and then you've got Daytona as you go into Florida. and then this is Stockbridge, McDonough. These are all kind of the same areas here. You'll get a lot better deals out here, but you might want to do your due diligence in some of these areas. Again, we're going back over to this is where I grew up at, in this area right here, and we used to run up Stone Mountain all the time, and we played a lot around here. A lot of famous things have happened out here. A lot of famous movies have been made out here, and it's a really nice place. Again, a little bit cheaper of a price point in the southeast, especially as you get towards Covington. Covington is a major movie location as well. Many series have been made, vampire series, all those. Matter of fact, they still have a tourist location out there based on the Vampire Diaries. And then inside the city, the north, Brookhaven, Vinings, Buckhead, those are more expensive areas. Buckhead used to be where all the athletes used to live, and all the famous people. I even heard one time that Justin Bieber had lived out here when he was younger. But yeah, this is a lot of higher priced locations. As you get to the south, things get a little bit lower priced. But one thing that they are doing is along the 4th Ward, around this area here, they are revitalizing it, and there's a lot. If you're young and you want to be near the city, because downtown's awesome. Downtown is beautiful. Got a lot of things to do down there. Restaurants, Cirque du Soleil that's permanently there, malls, anything that you want is downtown. A lot of good entertainment, a lot of great restaurants down there. But they're revitalizing all this down here because they've put in a lot of really nice housing in there. A lot of young people that again want to be close to the city, and a lot of hiking trails there now. The one thing about Atlanta that is not true in a lot of cities is that Atlanta, and I hear this from people who are coming here for the first time, there's 2 things about Atlanta that people don't really understand. One is there's a lot of trees. Trees everywhere in Atlanta. Even in the city, you'll see trees. People tell me all the time that they're going down the expressway and all they see is trees, and they are not used to that. Another thing is that Atlanta is hilly. It's not especially flat. So if I pull out a little bit, you're going to see that we're right here at the Blue Ridge Mountains. So right here you can see that there are mountains all through here, and so we are at the foothills of the mountains. So we are definitely not a flat location. And that's gonna take everything for today. Please like and subscribe, and go to the next video.